Grant Hill is a part owner of the Atlanta Hawks. He joins us live tonight. Grant, welcome back to CNBC. It's nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Looks like we're going to do this. So what's your reaction to the NBA coming back and what happened today with the vote?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a surprise. Certainly the news of the last few weeks, I think we all felt we were moving in that direction. But I know the league has worked tirelessly with the players, with public health officials, and with infectious disease doctors, and have mapped out a strategy to not compromise players and coaches as we sort of resume play in late July.
I know you have a couple of hats you wear, co-owners, one, former player, obviously. From a player's perspective, how do you think the players are feeling tonight, knowing that they're going to be back, but knowing that there are still going to be virus risks around the game?
That's a great question. You know, I do know throughout this whole process, Chris Paul, the president of the Players Association, has been in constant contact with the union, with its members, but also with Adam Silver and the NBA. And so it's really been a collaborative process to get to this point. I'm sure there's been a tremendous amount of reservations, but I think everyone has an understanding that they're going to be as careful and as diligent as possible. Everything from where they're staying to how they're transported to and from venues, to even the proper protocols and measures in the locker room and on the court. Obviously you're going to do everything you can to keep everyone healthy and safe, and have contingency plans in case someone does test positive. But by and large, from what I'm hearing and all indications, for the most part, players are ready to go forward with this and move forward. And I've talked to a few players, not just with the Hawks, but players that I've known and played with that are currently still in the league, and they're pretty fired up and excited about getting back out there and playing.
I bet. What do you make of the commissioner's leadership? Adam Silver, through all this, was the first out, if you will, to pull his league from play, and now he will be the first in terms of a major professional sports league to return.
Well, I think right now, as there's been a void of leadership in our country, I'm proud of the leadership displayed by the sports community, and of course, obviously highlighting Adam Silver. And you go back to March 11th, and as we were still sort of processing this COVID-19 and trying to understand its impact. He was the first after Rudy Gobert tested positive, and he pulled out. And that was bold at the time. And I think people were still trying to internalize and digest everything. And so after a lot of deliberation, a lot of consultation, a lot of tough decisions that needed to be discussed and formulated, we're moving forward right now. So I think that's a credit to that leadership. And I'm proud that it's, in the sport that I've been a part of my entire life.
I want to ask you about the events of the past couple of weeks, the ones I know that you're referring to in the remarks that you just made. How do you think that the sports world has responded to all of this? And again, as I mentioned, you have the perspective now of an owner. I'm wondering what you think the ownership message should be at a time like this. And if you're a player, what message do you need to hear?
Well, first of all, I've been proud as players in all sports, but particularly in basketball, in the sport that I live in. Players have used their voice and their platforms to address challenges and issues, and particularly what's happened over the course of the last couple of weeks. There's been a tremendous amount of access and sharing of information, keeping each other informed, and speaking out against these injustices. So that's something that's fantastic. I think in terms of organizations and franchises in the NBA, we have that same duty and responsibility. And so I think we all have to acknowledge that it's a problem. And the problem, it's racism. That's the issue, and that's the problem. That's at the root of the problem that's been going on. And, and so we have to address it. And then we have to do more than just that. We have to figure out how we can be part of the solution. And so I'm proud with the Atlanta Hawks. We're having a town hall meeting tomorrow with all of our employees, a virtual town hall meeting. All of our employees, our part-time employees, people who work in the arena, and we're having an open, candid, non-judgmental conversation. And, people are going to talk from all walks of life. but also it's important that we listen and we take the time to try to understand and try to feel what we're all feeling, but what we all have experienced and the pain that we're going through. And so, but yeah, look, we have a duty, we have a visibility as a sports league, as a sports franchise, and as athletes. And I believe with that comes a huge responsibility to address the problems and work, feverishly to try to fix them and make a difference.